Wild Wild West was a period film and was really set in, around 1870. I went back and did a ton of research of the period. A lot of it, luckily, it's still a period where there's photos, so that makes it a great reference piece. And then compile all that information and sort of take it from there.
I mean, it was wonderful working with Deborah Scott, who designed all the costumes. Unbelievable.
I did look at the television show, and of course I'd remembered it from my childhood. So there were a lot of kind of images from that immediately spring to mind, and I think the first one really being is the short jacket of Jim West.
That is the James West signature outfit. The first thing that was a part of my deal is I had to wear the waistcoat.
Had to be an awful career decision, darling.
Well, a lot of the challenge is in costume design of how the garments are going to work on people in real time and place of making your movie, and yet look like they come from another time and place.
The chaps, or shaps. Shaps is actually how it's properly pronounced, but everybody says chaps. Suppose it's shaps, and to wear the shaps, that's when I knew I was cute. When I got my chaps on, I looked in the mirror, I said, that boy cute.
Gotta stick to what we each do best.
Physically, the most painful thing was the corset. That was not good. And then, if I got a little bit of weight, it was here because it had nowhere else to go because it was sucked in, and it was very painful.
Hey, Rita, step out!
Everything was, we were strapped in corsets, which was, of course, kind of tough because, you can't drink that much water. Nothing fits in your stomach, because you're so, strapped in. And you can't, lay down, really. You have to sit straight. So we had, the best posture for 6 months, I have to say.
Me too.
As soon as I put all of this stuff on, I felt James West. That's great about being an actor. As soon as you get the wardrobe on, you start to feel the thing, and my spurs and all of that. I just be feeling damn sexy.
I designed it to go with this. Jim West does not wear costumes.
In Artemis's case, we know we have someone who's kind of turn of the century, trying to piece together, if you will, kind of a scientist using materials that are around and very kind of clever.
Cheers!
Artemis Gordon himself is the archetypal upper class educated man with a lot of tricks up his sleeve. So I really looked to what was going on in fashion, mostly English, what were his supposed roots, what are his fancies and things like that.
He's such a strange blend of qualities. Sort of a Renaissance man. He's a lover of beauty. He loves art. He loves the finer things in life.
I love this train.
Artemis was always kind of going to one-up James West. Halfway through, he'd always pull out a bigger gun or pull out another way to do something.
I've only made 1 or 2 other little additions to your wardrobe.
We really worked closely with mostly props. I mean, when you see in the movie all these different gadgets that spring out of sleeves and boots and things like that, it's really the prop men and us working together to sort of come up with the mesmerizer, bracelets that turn into handcuffs and things like that.
Kill him!
Creating a woman's costume for Kevin it was extremely fun. I mean, we had no boundaries. I mean, we really had so much license that we could take with it. And the scene ultimately became more about sort of women's undress rather than dress.
Would you help me undress? I always have trouble undoing this clasp.
The Trapper was an interesting challenge. That was really from the script and from Barry Sonnenfeld that's what it would be. And we played around with a lot of different images in terms of Artemis Gordon going to a costume ball. And what would that be, and why would he be it? He had to have something to cut a rope with. He had to be somewhat elegant because he's trying to fit into this ball, which was pretty elegant. And that's kind of what we came up with. And I think it was a great disguise, that one.
Okay, should I say quelle surprise again?
Yes, excellent. Okay. Very good.
Do I get a writing credit?
Not yet.
President Grant was completely from the research of what When you see pictures of President Grant, other than the fact that he was in the Civil War, what is his iconal image again? It's like going back to these sort of stereotypical things, and that's what he looked like, and I think Kevin looked amazingly like him.
I was merely demonstrating how someone using the art of disguise could penetrate into the very bowels of the White House, sir. You're clever, Gordon.
The four Loveless girls are really meant to be completely different images, and the basis of their characters were that they came from different parts of the world.
Well, West meets East, merely East.
Ma'am?
When we first see them in the movie, they're dressed kind of formally, and you can't really tell, you're not sure who are they, but later it's revealed that they're very distinctive people and that he's gathered this bevy of girls around him, and it's a lot about cleavage.
The wardrobes were wonderful. Deborah did a fantastic job. She's extremely talented.
I told you she'd be a distraction.
We had beautiful, beautiful gowns, which was in the first scene, like this enormous 1869, kind of gowns.
We started in the more regular 1800s dresses, and then suddenly we went into costume for the Mardi Gras ball at New Orleans, and I especially had a metal corset like a warrior, Viking warrior, like an Amazonia, but then even more futuristic.
I think my favorite one out of all the costumes would be the pirate outfit, although I like the outfit with a more spider-looking motif, very much too.
Since I'm German, they wanted me to kind of look a little bit Heidi, so I always had braids in my hair, and it was kind of a funny one. I looked very funny, I think. They're very girlish with pink lips and some green bows in my hair, flowers and stuff like that. Very like Austrian, Heidi.
Oh, it's beautiful. And the costume on my back was all this dragon. I wish I could show more, and torch on the floor and when I was walking. And also when I take it off, it's very, very sexy and beautiful costume. I wish I could have it. What a terribly clever costume, Mr.
West. Jim West.
Well, it's always very flattering when an actor wants to take their costumes home.
That outfit
is most becoming. I hope it's
lovely.
cozy and
I hope it's not too
warm and
breezy.
Back there.
But if there's anything...
Anything at all,
I'll
I'm
be
right here.
Well, sweet dreams.